أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعد الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم صدق الله مولانا العلي العظيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله على النبي الأمي وآله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلاة وسلاما عليك يا رسول الله اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت يا حي يا قيوم تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا اللهم يا كريم أكرمنا بنور الفهم وأخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Inshallah, we'll continue with the 180th covenant from the Muhammadan covenants of Imam Abdul Wahhab Sha'rani Shafi'i rahimahullah rahmatan wasi'a. And by the way, I'd like to thank all of you for staying behind, even in these adverse Arctic weather conditions that you can say. Mashallah, you've opted to stay in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make every minute of yours meritorious, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever time you spend learning the deen, acquiring the knowledge of Islam and the Prophet of Islam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by virtue of this knowledge, allow us to reach heights in proximity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in closeness to Him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by virtue of these lessons, forgive our shortcomings and allow us to stay in the company of the awliya fi hadhi dunya wa fil akhirah. Ameen ya rabbal alameen. So if you remember, last week we spoke about the condemnation of divulging people's private life and trying to spy on people, especially in their intruding their privacy, and something that we spoke about in relation to the incident that happened with Sheikh Yusuf Al-Ajami rahimahullah, and one who pretended to be a sincere disciple, and how the so-called sincere disciple had himself exposed the Sheikh, until obviously the sincere, inverted commas, the ex-disciple was then hung for falsely accusing the Shaykh of murder, whereas what was in the bag was pieces of slaughtered lamb. Another incident he mentions here, this is why we have to be very careful when we choose a friend. जब हम किसी को दोस्त बनाए या जब हम किसी को अपनी खास राज की बताए, तो बहुत सोच समझ करके किसी शख्स को अपनी राज की बात बतानी चाहिए. बहुत दफ़ा हम अच्छा गुमान करते हैं कि ये शख्स इंशाल्लाह राज को फाश नहीं करेगा, लेकिन वही शख्स फिर दूसरों को बता देता है, इससे हमारा राज फाश हो जाता है. इसलिए बहुत सोच समझ करके दोस्त बनाने चाहिए, बहुत सोच समझ करके किसी को अपनी राज की बात बतानी चाहिए. वहकाली अश-शेख शम्सुद्दीन अल-बूसीरी अन्नहु खदिम सय्यद अश-शेख अबू सऊद अल-जारिहिय्या من نحو 30 سنة والشيخ آخذ حذره منه فقال له يوما يا سيدي مرادي تطلعني أو تطلعني على شيء من أسرار أهل الله عز وجل. Sheikh Shamsuddin al-Busiri rahimahullah, not the famous Imam Sharafuddin Muhammad al-Busiri rahmatullah, another Sheikh, Egyptian Sheikh rahimahullah, great Sheikh. He says, I served Sheikh Abu Sa'ud al-Jarihi radiallahu, great wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for more than 30 years. And every single minute of his life, Sheikh Abu Sa'ud al-Jarihi rahmatullah alayhi was on his guard regarding him. He never divulged, he never confided his secrets with him. So one day, Sheikh Shamsuddin al-Busiri rahimahullah asked the Sheikh, Ya Sayyidi, O my master, Muradi tutli'ani ala shay'in min asrari ahli Allah azza wa jal. Oh my Sheikh, my aim and objective is that you tell me the secrets of the people of Allah. Tell me some of the secrets of tasawwuf, of treading the path of tariqah. Please share with me some secrets, some gems, some rare pearls of wisdom. فقال يا محمد والله ما أتمنك على إخراج ريح أخرجه بحضرتك خوفا أن تحكيه الناس. O Muhammad, you are telling me, you're requesting from me to tell you about the secrets of the people of Allah, and these are secrets that you cannot tell the awam, the layman, whereas I can't even trust you on the fact that if I was to, and he mentions this here, if I was to break wind in front of you, I can't even trust you that you will not tell people. I know that if I was to break wind in front of you, if I was to expose myself, you would then expose my defects to other people. You will then convey to other people. So people are very insincere nowadays. They say we love our shaykh and whatnot, but as soon as something happens, they are the very people who will then expose their shaykh, and instead of doing muraja'ah, and instead of clarifying the point with the shaykh, instead of using another method of islah, they will start to assassinate the character of the shaykh on Facebook and WhatsApp, on social media. So nowadays, as the poet says, दुनिया है एक धोखा, मतलब के है, मतलब के यार हैं सब कोई नहीं किसी का. People are, befriend one another for their own personal aims and objectives. There's no sincerity that exists, illa mashallah, obviously. وبالجملة فيحتاج من يريد العمل بهذا العهد ومن يخالط الناس اليوم إلى أن يروض نفسه حتى يكون كعالية العوالي في الدقاق. So then he says, conclusively what I say is, a person who wants to truly act upon this covenant and wants to mix in, mingle with people, he has to be in precision and accuracy like a lance, like a spear. You don't throw the lance of love to anyone. Valentine's Day, throw your lance and spear at anyone. No, you befriend a person after careful inspection and examination. Imam Al-Ghazali rahimahullah, as Imam Sha'rani quotes him before, لا تركن إلى صديق حتى تمتحنه غاية الامتحان. किसी को अपना दोस्त न बनाओ मगर जब कि तुमने उसका पूरा इम्तिहान न ले हो. उसको पहले परखो, अपने मैयार पे वो उतर रहा कि नहीं, उसका पूरा इम्तिहान लीजिए. Properly examine a person, inspect him inside and outside, his inner state and his outer state, and only then befriend him. Okay, so be like a long lance, a lance like a spear, the edge of it is very sharp, very fine, very precise. Be like that when you choose a friend. Okay? وَيَصِيرُ يَخْشَى اللَّهَ بِالْغَيْبِ, and a person should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in absence, in isolation. ويخاف أن يمقته إذا ذكر أحد من عبيده بسوء لا سيما العلماء العاملون والفقراء الصادقون. And one should fear that he may be loathed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially when he mentions one of his slaves, one of the servants of Allah subhanahu, anyone from his servants with evil. If he speaks ill about the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then he mentions it, especially the ulama who act upon their knowledge, the ulama rabbaniyin, when people backbite them, slander them, accuse them, when people speak ill about them, or the righteous servants of Allah, al-fuqara as-sadiqun, the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Sufiya kiram, when people speak ill about them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will loathe that person will be subject to the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as Imam Abdul Wahhab al-Sha'rani says, anyone who speaks ill about any of the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is a poisonous, it is such a poison that it will not only destroy your body, your physical state, it will destroy your iman. A person will lose his iman as a direct consequence of speaking ill about the awliya, using derogatory remarks about the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man haraba li waliyan faqad adhantu bil harb. Allahu Akbar. فَإِنَّ مَلَاحِظَهُمْ دَقِيقَةٌ, because the way the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way the ulama deal with people and the way they see things, it is very fine, very subtle. وربما ظن بعض and he explains this, وربما ظن بعض المجادلين في عقائدهم نقصا أو في أعمالهم خللا فيحكي ذلك للناس من غير أن يراجعهم في ذلك فيمقته الله. Many a times what happens is some of the adversaries, some of the ignoramuses They, in their own ignorant assumption, they think that the Shaykh has got a kind of shortcoming in his aqidah. The Shaykh, has shortcomings in his amal. He doesn't do amal properly, and this, that, and the other. And without going to the Shaykh, without going to the alim for clarity and clarification, he then spreads it amongst people, posts it on Facebook, and plasters it all over his WhatsApp groups and his statuses and whatnot, Twitter messages, and slanders the Shaykh, slanders the Wali of Allah and the alim without directly consulting the alim and actually clarifying whether this statement is true or not. And what happens before he knows, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is subject to the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is destroyed. So before we forward any messages, we need to clarify. We need to, go to the Shaykh, consult the alim deen, or the Shaykh about whom the subject matter is, and consult with them. Otherwise, فَيَمْقُتَهُ اللَّهُ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will envelop that person in his wrath. لِأَنَّ كُلَّ مَنْ اسْتَنَدَ إِلَى اللَّهِ دُونَ خَلْقِهِ كَانَ اللَّهُ لَهُ بِالنَّصْرِ. Because he then says, anyone who seeks support only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from the creation, then Allah will most definitely support that person. Allah will most definitely send down His divine succor. وَهَذَا شَأْنُهُمْ عَلَى الدَّوَامِ. And this is the state of the awliya and the ulama. They don't seek assistance from the people. They have a direct connection with Allah through the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they raise their matters to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They entrust all of their affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the one who is their adversary is indirectly the adversary of Allah, the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا يعولون قط على نصرة مخلوق ولا يشتكونه من بيت حاكم. They never rely and depend on the government or the government officials, never go to the police to complain about people or to seek help from them on their creation. ولو فعل معهم ما فعل ما هتكوا سريرته ولا غمزوا عليه عند حاكم إكراما لله عز وجل لكونهم عبيده. Whenever someone does anything with them, अगर कोई शख्स उनसे कोई भी मामला करे तो उनका मामला किसी से बयान नहीं करते, उनका मामला डायरेक्ट अल्लाह ताला के साथ होता है. नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के तवस्सुल से इनका मामला अल्लाह ताला के साथ होता है. वो किसी से बात नहीं करते, ना हाकिम के पास जाते हैं, ना किसी गवर्नमेंट के पास जाते हैं, गवर्नर के पास जाते हैं, ना किसी पुलिस के पास जाते कि ये शख्स मुझसे ये बदतमीज़ी करता है वगैरह वगैरह. इनका मामला डायरेक्ट अल्लाह ताला के साथ होता है. तो जो उनसे टक्कर लेता है वो गोया अल्लाह ताला से जंग करने की कोशिश करता है. So anyone who treats them with misconduct, anyone who treats them unfairly, with injustice, anyone who speaks ill about them, they don't expose his secrets. They don't go to the hakim's door, knocking on the door, going to the police station and lodging a complaint. They don't file a complaint against so and so. No, they don't do that. Their complaint is directly with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even though a person does whatever he does, they still honor that person because they look at them as the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They still respect those people who make defamatory comments, who assassinate their character. Look at the example of our Imam, Sayyiduna wa Maulana Al-Imam Al-Azham Abu Hanifa Nu'man ibn Thabit radiyallahu ta'ala warḍah. He had a neighbor who used to play music all night. He used to disturb our Imam, and he used to swear at Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. He used to use vulgar language, profanity. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah never once did he complain. When that man fell ill, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah took some sweets and took some food to him, and then he visited him to ask how he was. When he looked at the noble character of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he was actually non-Muslim. He was a non-Muslim. He was a fire worshipper, apparently, Zoroastrian. When he saw the noble conduct of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and the way he exercised patience and endured hardships and the way he didn't retaliate evil with evil but evil with good, subhanallah, he embraced Islam. Okay, this is character, subhanallah. فَلَمَّا أَكْرَمُوا عَبِيدَهُ لِأَجْلِهِ كَذَلِكَ أَكْرَمَهُمْ وَأَجَلَّهُمْ. When the awliya and the ulama honor the servants of Allah because of Allah's sake, Allah also honors them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also elevates their rank because they love His servants for His sake only. وسمعت سيدي علي الخواس رحمه الله يقول, I heard my Shaykh Sayyidi Ali al-Khawas رحمة الله عليه say, من ادعى أنه من أهل الله ولم يتحمل الأذى من عباده فقد كذب. Anyone who declares, anyone who claims himself to be from the people of Allah, from the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet he does not endure hardships from the people, then he is a liar. जो कोई शख्स ये दावा करे कि मैं अल्लाह का वली हूँ लेकिन लोगों की तकालीफ बर्दाश्त न करे तो वो झूठा है. जो शख्स ये दावा करे मैं पहुँचा हुआ हूँ, मैं अल्लाह ताला का बरगुज़िदा बंदा हूँ, और लोगों की जो तकालीफ पहुँचती है उस पर सब्र न करे, तो ये शख्स अपने दावा में झूठा है. A person who claims himself to be close to Allah, to be a Sufi, to be a Shaykh, to be a Wali of Allah, yet he does not endure the hardships, yet he does not show tolerance and forbearance in the face of the violation of the rights from the people, then he is a liar in his claim. He is a false claimant of tasawwuf, a false claimant of treading the path of suluk. وسمعته مرة أخرى يقول, I heard him on another occasion saying, إذا نازعتك نفسك في إظهار عورة مسلم فقل لها انظري ثمرة ذلك فإنك إذا أظهرتيها للناس لا بد من إظهار جميع زلاتك على رؤوس الأشهاد يوم القيامة حتى تفتضحي بحضرة من كان يعتقد فيك الصلاح في الدنيا. سبحان الله. فربما أن النفس تكتم ما رأت. He says, when your nafs, you've seen something happening, you've divulged a person's private life, we've intruded into someone's privacy, and you want to expose it. Our nafs wants to expose it. I want to be the first to post it on Facebook, to WhatsApp it to my friends. I want to be the first to circulate this message to all over social media. Ask yourself, ask your nafs, when your nafs contends with you, whether you should do it or not. So you are in this predicament, whether you want to expose a Muslim's defects or not. Ask, then tell your own nafs, tell your own ego. What should you say to your own ego? Look at unzuri thamar tadalik. Look at the benefit, look at the fruits of you concealing the defects of your Muslim brothers and sisters. What is the thamar, what is the benefit? If you conceal the defects of your Muslim brothers and sisters in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do the same with your defects in this world, and Allah will cover, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will conceal your faults and your defects in this world and in the next. But then say to your nafs, فَإِنَّكِ إِذَا أَظْهَرْتِيهَا لِلنَّاسِ, O my nafs, O my ego, if you expose the defects of people, لا بد من إظهار جميع زلاتك على رؤوس الأشهاد يوم القيامة, then it is necessary, it is absolutely necessary that all of your shortcomings, all of your lapses, all of your mistakes, all of your faults, all of your defects, all of your mistakes will be exposed in front of all the people on the day of reckoning. Who will be on Yawm al-Qiyamah? Everyone. From Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam until the last person, every single person will be there, gathered on the plane of gathering. And on that very day, if we expose the defects of our Muslim brothers and sisters for no valid shari'i reason whatsoever, we mention the exemptions, but without a valid reason we forward these messages exposing our brothers and sisters, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will expose all of our defects, all of our errors, all of our private life on Yawm al-Qiyamah, until you will also be exposed before whom? Before whom? Before those people who deemed you as pious, those people who deemed you as a musalli, as a person who used to be a good Muslim. We will even be exposed before them. So before that day, before we face humiliation, it is disgrace in front of people who used to hold us, who used to have a high opinion about us, who used to hold us up in high regard. Before that day occurs and happens, let us conceal the defects of our brothers and sisters today. Okay, today we've got a chance. Today we've got the opportunity. Okay, man satara sutira. The one who conceals will be concealed. Waman hataka hutika. But the one who exposes the defects of his brothers and sisters, he will also be exposed in this world. He shall also be exposed in the akhirah. Final points here. وَلْيَتَأَمَّلْ الَّذِي يُظْهِرُ عَوْرَاتِ النَّاسِ بِعَيْنِهِ يَجِدْ نَفْسُ أَغْضَبَ اللَّهِ. Let a person, the one who exposes the faults of people, he will find himself subjected to the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately. He will find himself immediately having angered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَتَعَرَّضَ لِلْهَتِيكَةِ, and he will find himself exposed to being disgraced and being humiliated and being exposed himself. وَلَا يُعْطِيهِ النَّاسُ لِأَجْلِ ذَلِكَ شَيْئًا. People won't give him anything for exposing other people's faults. إِنَّمَا ذَلِكَ رَفَثٌ وَمَقْتٌ وَفُسُوقٌ لَا غَيْرٌ نَسْأَلُ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى الْعَافِيَةَ. Exposing other people's faults is what? Nothing but filth. Nothing but being loathed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing but transgression and nothing else. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us afiyah. وَبِالْجُمْلَةِ فَلَا يَتَجَسَّسُوا عَلَى الْعَوْرَاتِ إِلَّا فَاسِقٌ. No one spies on the private life of people except a fasiq, except a transgressor. No one exposes the defects and the private life of another person except for a person who has transgressed the limits set by Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَإِنَّ الْقَلْبَ الْمُطَهَّرَ مِنَ السُّوءِ لَا يَظُنُّ فِي النَّاسِ إِلَّا خَيْرًا. Because our heart, which is purified from evil, does not harbor any suspicion, does not have any negative suspicion or assumption about other people. It only assumes good about other people. وَرَأَى سَيِّدِي مَدْيَنُ فَقِيرٌ. It mentions that finally, I'm just going to mention this incident. We'll finish at this point inshallah. Sheikh Madian, Sheikh Abu Madian Al-Maghribi, great wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sheikh Madian, Abu Madian, rahmatullah alayhi. He saw a faqir. Faqir here doesn't mean the faqir that we know, a pauper. Faqir means someone who has treading the path of tasawwuf. A salik, a faqir. In his zawiyah, he had a zawiyah, he had a lodge, he had a madrasa where he used to train his disciples spiritually. They used to undergo spiritual struggle, mujahada and suluk under the supervision of Sheikh Abu Madian al-Maghribi, rahimahullah rahmatan wasi'ah. So he saw one sheikh, one faqir, and he was spying on another faqir. تجسس على فقير دخل الخلوة بشاب أمرد. He saw a person stood on one corner spying on another faqir, another person who went inside a private room with a young, handsome, beardless man. So obviously this man was spying. This man was, he shouldn't have done that. He should have spied. And at the same time, the faqir shouldn't have isolated himself with a young beardless man in a manner which would make people point fingers at him. You understand? فأخرج الشيخ ذلك المتجسس من الزاوية. The sheikh took that spy out of his zawiyah, out of his gathering. He removed him. How dare you spy on people? وقال, and he said to him, لولا أنك من أهل السوء ما ظننت السوء. Were you not from the people of evil, you would not have thought of evil. Because you've got an evil heart, that's why you're thinking evil in relation to other people. Who knows, that might be his own son, that might be his own nephew. Why didn't you give him the benefit of the doubt? Okay. فَقَالْ يَا سَيِّدِ التَّوْبَةِ. He then, confessed. He made sincere tawbah. He said, Ya Shaykh, tawbah, please forgive me. I seek repentance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please forgive me. فَقَبِلَ الشَّيْخُ تَوْبَةً. The Shaykh accepted his tawbah, allowed him to return back. But what did the Shaykh say to him now? وَأَمَرَهُ بِأَنْ يُعَامِلَ إِخْوَانَهُ مُعَامَلَةَ مَنْ يُسِيءُ بِهِمُ الظَّنِّ مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءِ ظَنِّ. The Shaykh then commanded him to deal with his brothers in the khanqah like the one who has evil suspicion about them without having any evil suspicion. What did the Shaykh tell him? You spied on people, so okay, keep on doing that, but don't have any evil doubts in your heart. Why did the Shaykh tell him to do that? Why did the Shaykh tell him to keep on spying? Why did the Shaykh tell him to be vigilant and be kind of supervise people, so that people are cautious, so that people stay away from places of accusation, so that people don't do things that are wrong in his zawiyah. So the Shaykh commanded him to do that, be an observer, but don't harbor any ill thoughts in your heart or in your mind. And as for those people who went inside the room, the Shaykh and the young man who went into the room privately, okay, وَأَمَرَ الْمَتْهُومِينَ, he commanded, he ordered those people who are falsely accused بِتَحَمُّلِ الْأَذَى مِنْ جَمِيعِ النَّاسِ, to exercise forbearance, to exercise tolerance, to forgive and forget people, to forgive people, to endure hardships from people. وَقَالَ لَهُمَا, and he specifically said to those two people, who? The faqir and the young man who entered the private room, said to both of them, مَنْ سَلَكَ مَسْلَكَ التُّهَمْ فَلَا يَلُومَنَّ مَنْ أَسَأَ بِهِ الظَّنِّ. The one who treads the path of accusation, then he should not blame anyone when he is accused of anything. Don't go to areas where you are going to be accused. I'll give you an example. You walk on Blackburn Road or Hollywood Road, not you, someone, a Muslim, and then he enters the pub. What are you going to think? Okay, and then the person comes out and says, clarifies himself after the entire, obviously with Blackburn Road and Hollywood Road, as soon as one person starts talking about it, it's widespread, it spreads like wildfire. Probably reaches the furthest point in America and the East as well. Then he clarifies himself on YouTube and says, brothers and sisters, I went into the pub to drink, to have some water because I'm feeling thirsty. And come on. Don't go to places of accusation in the first place. Okay? Don't do daft and silly things. Don't be in the wrong places at the wrong time, because you are going to be exposed. Then don't start to, regret and feel remorseful. Because if a person goes to places of tuhma, places of accusation, people are bound to accuse him. So therefore the Shaykh admonished them to don't do things that makes people point fingers at you. Stay away from places of accusation. فَعُلِمَ أَنَّ كُلَّ مَنِ اشْتَكَى أَحَدًا أَذَاهُ مِنْ بَيْتِ حَاكِمٍ فَلَيْسَ لَهُ فِي طَرِيقِ أَهْلِ اللَّهِ نَصِيبٌ. So it is known that anyone who complains about other people's takalif, other people violating his rights, to a governor or to the police or to anyone else, then he doesn't have any portion from the Ahlullah, from the way of the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should all exercise patience, endure the hardships that we get from the people, so that it can be a means of our forgiveness in this world, a means of elevation of our ranks in the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to act upon this. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazallahu anna Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammadan sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallam ma huwa ahluh. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. اللهم ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. اللهم اغفر لأمة سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم مغفرة عامة. اللهم ارحم على أمة سيدنا محمد. اللهم ارحم على أهل الشام. اللهم تجاوز عن أهل الشام. اللهم فك عن أسر المسلمين. اللهم عليك بأعدائنا أعداء الدين. اللهم شتت شملهم. اللهم مزق جمعهم. اللهم خرب بلادهم واجعلهم مقهورين يا رب العالمين. اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا. اللهم استرنا بسترك الجميل يا ستار يا ستار يا ستار. استرنا بسترك الجميل. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم، وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. جزا الله عنا سيدنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وبارك وسلم ما هو أهله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.